All right, we're going. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. So welcome. This is our 60-minute flow class. And for those of you I haven't met before, I'm Jo, and we're going to flow. If you have taken my flow classes before, you know that I love to move. I love to go around the room, around the mat, front, back, side to side. So we're gonna do a little of that today, but it'll be just a nice, easy flow, nice, easy warm up, lots of familiar things, flow. And as you all know, my biggest concern is making sure that I got the Zoom right. So if that's good, then we're good to go. All right, we're going to get started today in child's pose. So go ahead, take your big toes together, your knees wide, as wide as is comfortable for you. Sink your hips to your heels, and then just release your forehead to the mat or a block, any prop that's comfortable for you, and just come into your child's pose. So you stay in your child's pose. I'm just going to face you so you can hear me better, so I won't be speaking into the mat. Let's just come into our breath. Let's just begin to settle the mind before we start to move. And the breath, of course, is always a great way to do that. So just gradually start to lengthen your inhales and deepen your exhales. Start to find a nice steady rhythm. And just let your body release. Notice as you let the head go and sink into the mat, the shoulders sink into the mat, the chest, the hips. Just release and let everything go. I'm sure everybody's saying the same thing, but right now, there's so many emotions that are flooding our brains, from panic to concern to worry. Just let it all stay outside the room. Leave it behind. And come in.
I'm not the medical expert. I'm not the person to know exactly how many people are safe to work.
Let's just come into 3 cleansing breaths here now. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Again, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. And one more breath in. And breath out. And now just start to come into any breath that's comfortable, calming for you. Ideally matching the length of your inhales with the length of your exhales. Maybe moving into your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose, closing off the back half of the throat, gentle constriction in the throat. And that constriction causes a forced lengthening of the inhales and the exhales, generating a nice internal warming breath. And whatever breath you choose, let the breath be your guide as you move through your practice. Keeping the length of the inhales and the exhales the same. If you find it a bit of a struggle on one or the other, just change up what you're doing. Slow down, ease off. Let the breath be your guide. All right, next breath, begin to walk the hands forward, lifting the elbows off the mat. And let's take our lateral side stretch, walking both hands over to the right, stacking left hand on top of the right, pressing deeply into that left hand, allowing the left shoulder to fall towards the mat. Getting a nice side stretch from your left fingertips all the way down to your left hip. And then exhale through center, all the way over towards the left. Right hand stacks on top of the left hand, Press down into the right hand, releasing the right shoulder towards the mat. And then come back through center. Walk the hands forward a little bit, elbows up, and let's come into our table pose. So find your perfect table, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Let's extend the right leg long, follow the foot to the mat, and just rock forward and backwards, working through the hamstring. And then drop that knee, come into the left side, extend the left leg long, follow the foot to the mat, rock back and forth. And then keeping that left leg extended, just lift it up, find a nice little balance here. Flexing the toes down, option to add in the right hand, thumb up to the sky. Just find length for a moment, from fingertips all the way through the heel, belly up towards the spine, taking wrinkles out of the back of the neck, so really long length here. You're as long as you get. And then exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And 2 more times like that. Knee to elbow. And extend. And last time, knee to elbow. Take it long. You can either hold here or bend the left knee, reach for it with the right hand, and come into your back bend. Pull the foot away from the heel, heart forward, gaze forward. Keep the leg lifted, extend the leg long, drop the right hand to the mat, peel the left hand up to the sky, come into your supported side plank. So the leg can be lifted, it can be down on the mat. So find what works for you. And maybe you want to come into some arm circles. Just take some movements or take the position that feels good for you. You balance into this. Maybe you bend the top leg and reach for that foot. And if you have the foot, I want you to push the foot towards the wall behind you and down just a little, and feel how that brings the top hip into place. And take that bottom hip and just let it roll towards the front, squaring your hips towards the computer, towards your device. And then drop the foot, arch of the foot to the mat. Take the top arm up and over the ear, palm down, and lift the hips. Find a little rainbow. You're really getting a nice rounding through the lateral side. Beautiful. All right, to table. Coming into table, let's take some hip circles. Take 2 or 3 in one direction. And then 2 or 3 in the other direction. And we'll come into the other side. So right leg extended long, toes flexed. Add in that left hand, thumb up. Find your spinal balance, and then exhale, 3 knee to nose. Or just hold. Everything is an option. All right, from here, again, option to bend that back leg and either reach for it with your left hand, or you can just, if you don't grab the foot, you can just reach towards the back of the mat. If you have the foot, pull it away from your seat, heart forward. Nice little back bend. And then reach long. Extend the leg long, left hand down to the mat, right hand up to the sky. Finding your supported side plank. I'll turn it around here. Again, if you want to add your arm circles, you can. Waking up the rotator cuff a little bit. If you want to add in the quad stretch, go ahead and bend the top leg and reach for it with your right hand. And once again, try playing with that foot direction, pulling the foot towards the wall behind you, the foot down a little bit. Feel that top hip just click into place. And come into our rainbow. Take the arch of the foot to the mat, top arm up and over the ear. And reach those top fingers towards the mat, just arching yourself, taking those hips up to the sky. Beautiful. And then come back into your table pose. All right, from table, let's come into our cat-cows. Ooh, something that we all love. Just inhale to cow, dropping the belly, bringing the gaze forward. And then exhale, gaze to the belly, press through the hands, round through the upper back. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And let's come into our neutral table for a moment. Tuck the toes and then hover the knees off of the mat. Bring a little bit of core into this. And either stay here if this feels fine, or if you want to do something a little weird, come into cat-cows with the knees off of the mat. It's a little bit weird, it's a little bit hard. But just changing things up for the brain, for the body. And then finally, let's straighten into our downward facing dog. Does that feel good after those bear planks? All right, find your downward facing dog. Pressing into all 10 fingertips. Reaching the hips up towards the sky, widening across the upper back. Begin to bend one knee and then the other, or take the moves that you like to start waking up your downward facing dog, walking the dog, lifting the heels up and down. What's good for you? All right, let's lift the right leg up to the sky. And then knee to the nose, round through the upper back. And then drop the knees to the mat, heart forward, head forward. Shoot the leg back straight into a three-legged plank. And lift into downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Knee to the nose, rounding through the back. Hover the knee towards the mat, head forward, heart forward. Extend the leg long, three-legged plank, and three-legged dog. Release the foot to the mat, downward facing dog. Doing that on the other side, extend the left leg long. Knee to the nose, rounding the spine. Hover the knee, head and heart forward. Extend back, three-legged dog, three-legged plank, and now three-legged dog. Last time you know it now, knee to nose. Hover the knee, heart and head forward. Extend into three-legged plank. Lift into downward facing dog with the left leg extended. And drop into your downward facing dog. Yeah. All right, bring your gaze up to the front of the mat. Hop, step, or float the feet to the front of the mat and find a nice forward fold here. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. If you have opposite elbows, switch to the opposite grip. And then let's all, wherever you're doing with your hands, just bend generously so the chest comes to the thighs. And straighten. Let the head be heavy. Again, bend. And straighten. One more time, bend. Straighten, release the hands. And let's roll all the way up to standing, taking the arms up overhead. You stay at the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn to face you. And bring the hands down to heart center. So maybe you want to close your eyes for a couple of breaths here and just rock forward and backwards, side to side, and perhaps set an intention for your practice. And the intention that has most resonated with me this week has been letting myself be okay with not being okay. If that resonates for you, maybe that's what you're bringing your thoughts to. Being okay with not being okay. Begin to open the eyes, reach the arms up to the sky. Let's take a cactus with our arms, elbows towards each other in the back, heart forward. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Lateral side stretch over to the right, dropping the right hand down by your side, left hand up and over. So maybe your gaze goes up to the sky, maybe it goes down towards the mat. Whatever you normally do, maybe do something different. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Lateral stretch over to the left. Sink heavily into the right knife edge of the foot as you come into this stretch. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stay here for 2 breaths. Press the hands into the shins press back. Belly up towards the spine, gaze, belly up, towards the spine, gaze straight down. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, reach the arms and the gaze up to the sky. And hands to heart center. Let's take that again, 1 breath, 1 movement. Arms up to the sky. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lateral stretch to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, lateral stretch to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, reach the arms and the gaze up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's take a little warm-up flow. So at the top of your mat, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into your plank. Lift straight into downward facing dog and extend the right leg up to the sky. Gaze between the hands, step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Drop the back foot, top of the knee. Inhale, arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. It feels good to just press back and forth with that front knee, releasing through that left hip flexor. Go ahead and do that. Both hands down to the mat, straighten that front leg. Maybe you walk the hands back a little bit as you straighten that leg. And just think about taking that back hip forward, the front hip back, so the hips are nice and square towards the front of the mat. And let's flow. Bend through that front leg. And straighten. If you'd like to add the arms, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale as you straighten, bring them down. Adds a little balance challenge for me. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. And then frame the foot. Tuck the back toe, power up the back knee, step back into a plank. Hold for 1 breath here, making sure shoulders are over wrists, pressing through the heels, and then exhale, drop the knees. We'll take our half chaturanga. Untuck the toes, hug the elbows in tight, lower the chest down to the mat. Inhale up to your cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead down, option to come through table or straight into downward facing dog. Other side, left leg up to the sky. Gaze between the hands, step through between the hands. Runners, lunge, drop the back knee, the top of the foot. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Finding your hip flexor release if you'd like to rock back and forth. Or you can hold in stillness. Both hands down to the mat. Straighten that front leg, walking the hands back towards the hips. And just find your position here. Front hip coming back hip coming forward. And we'll start to flow. Bend through the front leg. Remember, option to add the arms or keep them down by your side. Arms up. And then exhale down. Arms up. Exhale down as you straighten. Bend the knee last time. Plant the hands, tuck the back toe, power up the back knee, step back into plank, and lower down. Exhale, knees to the mat, untuck the toes, chest to the mat. Inhale to your back bend, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Gaze to the front, walk, step, or float your feet to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Arms and gaze up to the sky. And hands to heart center. Continuing with the flow, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that length through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. And let's take one chaturanga here. Shift forward, high to low push up. Knees can come down if you'd like. Inhale to your upward facing dog or over your back bend of choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hey, right leg extends long. Gaze between the hands, step into your warrior one. All right, first warrior one of the day, so let's just take a moment or two to get into it. You maybe take your hands to your hips. Make sure they're square towards the front. If you need to open that front leg more towards the right to get the hips square, go ahead and do that. Press deeply into the knife edge of the back foot, front knee is coming forward. When you have your great foundation, inhale, arms up to the sky. Beautiful. All right, exhale, take the cactus again. Keeping the cactus, chest to the thigh, nice 45-degree angle, pressing into the knife edge of the back foot. Reach the arms forward for an airplane arms. And then reach them back, airplane back. Airplane forward, lift up to your warrior one. Plant the hands down, frame the foot, step back into plank, and either lift straight into downward facing dog or take your chaturanga, your version. Remember, we'll have lots of chances to flow. Take as many or as few as you want. Left leg up to the sky. Gaze between the hands, step forward into your warrior one. Simple arm flow. So once you have your nice warrior one, cactus those arms. Heart forward, maybe a bit of a back bend this time. Keep the cactus arms, chest to thigh. Reach forward, airplane arms. Airplane back. Airplane forward. Warrior one. Frame the feet with the hands, step back into your plank and make your way to downward facing dog. All right, take 3 cleansing breaths here in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more cleansing breath. Beautiful. All right. Right leg up to the sky. Let's build. Step through, come into your warrior one. Interlace the hands behind the back. We're going to take this one step at a time. Just pull the fist towards the back heel. So we're pressing into the knife edge of the back foot, reaching the fist towards the heel, lifting the heart forward to find length through that front body. And then come into your humble warrior when you find that length, reaching chest to thigh. The fist either up to the sky or it can be down on your sacrum, whatever works for you. Head towards the mat, shoulder inside that front knee or chest to the thigh. We're going to come out the way we came in. So you're going to take that fist and start to pull it up and back towards that back heel. Unbind the arms, reach them up to the sky. Straighten that front leg and shorten your stance, preparing for pyramid. Same thing with pyramid. Maybe you want to take your hands to your hips, finding a nice square towards the front, square hips towards the front. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, let's come into a halfway lift. So reach the arms forward and find that scissor action with the hips. You're pulling your front hip back and back hip forward. When you're ready, exhale, just drop the hands towards the mat or a block. Or one of my friends is using some precious rolls of toilet paper for blocks. And before you settle into this, come onto the fingertips. Let's come into another halfway lift. So reach the crown of the head forward and find that scissor action to get the hips perfectly square. Once you have that alignment, then exhale, come into your pyramid fold. Intense leg stretch. So maybe you need to take a micro bend in that front knee. Maybe you're up on blocks. Maybe you're up on fingertips. So just feel the hamstring stretch here. And then take the left hand down, maybe inside the front foot, or on top of the front foot, or to the outside and come into a twist. Left hand down, right hand up towards the sky. So keep thinking about scissoring the hips and start to stack the shoulders. So even as you come into this, you might change your hand position. Maybe you start with a hand inside the right foot. Maybe it starts to move towards the outside, maybe not. Find what works for you to give you both the challenge for the position, but the ease at the same time. Both hands down to the mat and take a little bend in the front leg, and we'll cast the back leg up to the sky for a standing split. So press into the standing leg to lift up. And we're going to release into a high lunge when you're ready. So bend through the front leg, big step back with the left leg, lift into a high crescent lunge. Nice release for that hip, right? All right, find your crescent lunge, your tailbone straight down, hip points forward, reaching through the heel of the back foot, pressing into the heel of the front foot. Shoulders down, fingertips up, open to warrior two. So maybe you have to lengthen your stance. Just find it's our first warrior two, so find that perfect warrior two for you. Pressing into the knife edge of the back foot, which is more or less for most people parallel to the back edge of the mat. Your front knee is going out more towards the right front corner of the mat, not caving inward. Let's one step at a time. Flip that palm, reach forward to the front of your mat so you get a nice bend in that front knee, and exhale into your reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. All right, if you've taken my class, you know my thing about half moon. We're gonna come into half moon, but don't go worrying about blocks. You can if you want, but we're really thinking about the journey of our half moon. So start to walk that back leg forward, shift weight into the front leg, gaze forward, and just start to tip. Maybe you barely take that back foot off. Maybe you keep it down, but if it feels good, just keep tipping. Flex that back foot, stack the shoulders. Maybe bring the gaze to the left corner of your mat or the left side of the room. And I release as warrior two. Bend through the standing leg, big step back into warrior two. Beautiful, I'm guessing. Flip that front palm, come into your reverse. And then cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, step back into a plank, and move through your flow. Your chaturanga or nataranga. And we'll take that on the other side. Left leg up to the sky. Step it through, come into your warrior one. As you interlace the hands, take the opposite thumb on top. Pull the fist towards the back heel. Lift the heart forward. And when you have that length and you're ready, exhale into your humble warrior, bringing the forehead towards, your head towards the floor, reaching the fist up towards the sky, gaze towards the back heel. Inhale the way we came out, just reach the fist up and back, unbind the arms. And start to straighten that front leg, shorten the stance, find your pyramid prep. Again, hips square towards the front, arms up, exhale into your halfway lift. Scissor those hips, get them into place, and then exhale, release hands down to the mat or blocks. And before you settle in, let's take that halfway lift again, just to click those hips into place. Find length through the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the front of your room. And then exhale into your pyramid fold. Maybe you need a micro bend in that front knee, that's okay. Maybe you just need to shorten or lengthen the stand. And let's start to come into the twist. Take that right hand down to the mat, left hand up to the sky. And you're hugging the hips in over the center line. If you think about a line down the middle of the mat, you're straddling that line with the hips. So it's not jutting out to one side or the other. Both hands down to the mat. Little bend in that front leg to kick the back leg up into your standing split. And bend through the front leg, big step back with a warrior two. Again, find first warrior two on this side, find your foundation. Flip the palm, reach forward, come into your reverse. And then back to warrior two. And we get half moon on this side again, so just bring your gaze forward, shift your weight into the front leg, and just find it. It's the journey, right? I fall out of it all the time. And come back into your warrior two. Flip the palm. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, step back into plank, and make your way to downward facing dog. And let's gaze to the front of the mat and start to walk your feet to the front of the mat. Come into a forward fold. Oh, maybe we take a yogi toe hold. Let's just hang in our fold for a moment. Peace fingers under the big toe, thumb on top. Elbows out to the side. Let's take that bend and straighten. Take the thighs to the chest, bending the knees. Inhale, straighten. Bend, pulling the elbows out wide. And straighten. Once more, bend, pulling the elbows wide. And straighten. Fold forward. Bend through the knees, reach the arms and the gaze up to the sky. This lateral twist over to lateral side to the right. Reach arms up to the sky and lateral over to the left. Both arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into a plank. Take your chaturanga or lift into downward facing dog. All right, I promise you we move around the mat. Let's take that right leg up to the sky. Step it through between the hands, warrior one. We're just here for a breath. We're gonna open to warrior two to the back of the mat. So facing the back of the mat now, warrior two. Flip the palm, come into your reverse. Just keep reaching towards your back and straighten that front leg. Reverse triangle. It's an option to come up on the heel, lifting the toes up. If you have the toes up, release them down. We're gonna come right into triangle, so just keep that length through the front side body, reach the front arm all the way to the front, cock the back hip towards the back, find that length, keep finding it, and then tick-tock the arms. So as you tick-tock the arms here, release the bottom hand below the knee, somewhere below the knee, and press into something at the front of your shin or the side of your shin to bring the bottom ribs through. And think about lengthening both sides of your side body, the top, bottom, in this triangle. All right, we bend that front knee, come into your warrior two. Turn all 10 toes towards the side of the mat, reach the arms up, we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. Exhale, hands down to the mat. And you can take any variation, any moves that you like. Here I'm gonna offer a little flow. Walk your hands forward, coming into a wide downward facing dog. This feels good, you can just stay here. If you want to flow a little, just release the elbows, the forearms to the mat. Inhale, come back up into your fingertips, lifting elbows off. 2 more times like that, forearms down to the mat. Lift up. Last time, forearms down to the mat. Lift up on the fingertips, walk the hands underneath your face. And take the hands to the hip creases. Pressing through the feet, lift all the way up, arms out to a T. Arms up to the sky, palms together, open to warrior two, back to the front. Flip the palm, find your reverse. Straighten the front leg, keep reaching back, reverse triangle. And come into your triangle on this side. Reach the right arm all the way forward, back, cocking the back hip back, and releasing into your perfect triangle. So remember, it's all about lengthening through both sides bodies, stacking shoulders, stacking hips. So I like to take this front arm and press it into the inner shin so I can spiral that the bottom ribs forward. And thinking wide across the lats. So we're not taking a back bend, we're taking an expansion. Okay. Bend through the knee, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, step back into plank, and make your way to downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. All right, I'm just going to turn around so I'm going to be facing you. All right, left leg up to the sky. Step it through, coming into warrior one. Warrior two to the back. Flip the palm, find your reverse. Back to warrior two, and shift straight into your half moon. We've been here before, so find your half moon. Maybe use the block, maybe not. So if you feel unsteady, take a bend in that front knee, and when it feels good, then go ahead and straighten it back. And then exhale to warrior two. And then come into goddess. Find a nice little goddess pose, sinking down, knees going out towards the toes. We're reaching back up to 5-star, warrior two to the other side. Back in that. Reverse. Back to warrior two. Half moon again. Dismount into your warrior two. Flip the palm, find your reverse. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, step back into plank, and make your way to downward facing dog. Turn around again. What time do we have? Oh, time's flying. I do have one more little sequence, it's short. All right. Right, for our downward facing dog, extend the right leg long. Step it through, come into warrior one. Warrior two to the front. Interlace the hands behind the back. We're going to come into a warrior two, humble warrior. Pull the fist towards the back heel, lift the heart. When you have that length through the front body, go ahead and take your humble warrior two. Chest to the floor, head towards the floor, the shoulders inside the front knee. Okay, stay here for a moment, but let me tell you where we're going next. We're going to come into a side lunge where we're going to straighten the front leg and bend the back leg and take our hands to prayer. All right, so bend into the back leg, hands to prayer into a side lunge. And when we come back to the front of the mat, we're going to take both hands inside the front foot. Walk that front foot out, and we're coming into our lizard. All right, so you have time to take whatever kind of lizard pose you like. Maybe you like to keep that back knee up, rock forward and backwards. Maybe you like to drop the back knee down, untuck the toes, come down on your forearms. Find your lizard. Lots of different things. Other classes, I'll do other options today. I'm going to take a twisted monkey, where I'm going to take my left arm parallel with the front of the mat, bend the left leg, walk, come on the knife edge of my right foot and take my right hand either to my foot or towards that back side of the mat. Getting that quad stretch. But you find whatever version of lizard that you want. All right, we're gonna come back to our forearms. So everybody, if you're able to drop onto your forearms, because we're gonna come into a forearm plank. So you're gonna power up the back legs, tuck the toe, take that back knee, and step the front foot forward. We're in a forearm plank. So let's hold here, or you can just get here however you want. Forearm plank, hold for 3 breaths, like lift the hips up. Think long line from the crown of the head through the heels. And then let's start to come into our forearm plank, our dolphin. Walk the back feet forward. And you may like to just take this as a shoulder opener. Maybe rock back and forth over the heels. Maybe you'd like to take one leg up. Maybe give a little air. The other side if you want. Whenever you're ready, we're all going to end in child's pose. You can get there whenever it works for you. If you have forearm stand, I'm envious. Then we'll all meet in child's pose. Just as we started, sinking your hips to your heels, forehead to the mat or a block. Oh, I gotta wind this down, don't I? Too much fun. All right, let's get going. We've got that other side to go. All right, into your downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky. Step it through between the hands, warrior one. Interlace the hands behind the back, opposite thumb on top. Oops, sorry, open to warrior two. And now come into your humble. Ooh. Starting to think about what I can cut out. All right, take your head towards the mat, towards the floor. The fists up to the sky, shoulders inside the front knee, finding your humble warrior two. And while you're down here thinking about that half, the transition into the side lunge. So you're going to bend into the right leg straight in the front. Take your hands to prayer, come into the side lunge. And then when you press forward, you're going to take both hands inside the front leg for your lizard. Right, so maybe you heel toe that left foot out towards the side. Maybe you come back and forth. Maybe you just drop the back knee right away, come into a lizard variation of your choice, onto the forearms. And if you want to take that twisted monkey again, you're going to turn your right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Reach the left arm back, bend to the back knee, and go for the foot. Heart forward. You're starting to wind things down. All right, we're going to come back down into our forearms, onto our forearms. Power up the back knee, step the foot back into your forearm plank, and again, we'll hold for 3 breaths. Make sure you're lifting the hips up and you're not dumping through the lower back. And then release the hips, then that will come into a Sphinx pose. Oh, one of my favorite poses. All right, you're going to release the hips to the mat if you haven't already. Your elbows are just beneath the shoulders or a little in front. And we'll find that spinal length. Press into your entire forearm from elbow to fingertips and drag the elbows towards your hips. Shine the heart forward. Energetically just feel that lengthening of the front and back bodies. And when you've had enough of the energetics, you can stop on that energetic pull and just pause for a moment in Sphinx. You can release the head down. And what we're doing here is working a little bit on that curve on the lower back here. let's release all the way down onto our belly. Stack the hands and drop the forehead to the mat. Maybe bend the knees and windshield wiper the knees, the feet side to side. Release down. Let's just press back up into our table, into our downward facing dog. And gaze to the front. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Let's see, I have time. Let's just do a little bit of a balance. Bend through the knees, reach the arms and the gaze up to the sky, and hands to heart center. All right, we're going to come into our tree pose on the left. So shift your weight into the left foot and come into your tree pose. So take your foot any place but on the knee. And some days, you know, I just can't balance. Some days I can. I don't know what the answer to that is, but just find what works for you. Wherever you are, press that foot into the leg presses back. So hips are nice and square, shoulders are stacked right on top of the hips, and then go ahead and grow your branches. All right, so you can stay in tree, or we can move into dancer from here. Take your right hand to the right knee, take it to the front of the room. Slide the hand down and snatch the ankle on the inside, keeping that left arm up to the sky, and just start to pull the foot away from the heel as you tip forward, thinking cobra back. So you're lifting through the heart, you're pulling the foot away from the seat in order to get that back bend. And when you've had enough, go ahead and release down. Whew. Today I didn't fall all over, just a little bit. Today was a good day for me. All right, other side. Shift your weight into the right leg, left knee, left foot, wherever you want for your tree pose. Find your balance. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Grow your branches, thinking about all of those things, pressing the foot into the leg pressing back, stacking shoulders over the hips, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And then either stay in your tree or move into your dancer, taking left hand to the left knee forward, rolling down to snatch the ankle and start first with the knees together. So maybe it's just a quad stretch you stay in. If you want to come into the back bend, kick the foot away from the heel, cobra the front body, lift up. And release down. All right, come to standing. All right, I had so many other things planned, time's flying, so let's just really start to cool things down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Take one more chaturanga. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a plank. And this time as you lower down into your half push up, inhale to upward facing dog, pause here, and just sway the hips side to side. Lift into downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna make our way to a seat. So one way you can do it is just gaze at your feet, bend the knees, and then hop forward, crossing the feet, taking a little seat. We're gonna come into our Paschimottanasana. So legs forward. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. So just drop the shoulders for a moment and reach the fingertips up. Flex the feet, bend the knees if you need. And then exhale, come into a forward fold, but don't settle in too much yet, because we're gonna take a halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and now you can settle down. So reaching all the way. Maybe grab your feet. Maybe the knees are bent deeply so you can reach the feet. And it doesn't matter if you don't get the feet, you don't get the feet. If you have A little more flexibility through the hamstring. You can take a block behind the feet. And this seems like a show-off move, but it really is one where it just feels great because it lets you flex the feet if you have this length. And it's just a nice way to pull those toes towards you as you fold. All right, release. Let's just start to roll on up. We'll come into our Janusarsasana. Take the right leg long, bending the left foot. And let's just go ahead and reach the arms up, square your torso over the leg, and start to come into a fold. So again, you can just fold here, or there's a fun little option. You take your left hand to the knife edge of the right foot, and then take your right arm towards the back and lift your heart towards the back corner. And then when you come back, take that left arm, cross into the arch of the foot, and then find that length. I realize it's only probably all the runners and bikers, that's not for you. The hamstrings are tight. If that's something that works for you, just helps to give you a little bit extra length. All right, reach on up. Take that leg towards the front and step the left foot over. We'll come into our spinal twist. So post the left hand behind your back and we'll reach the right hand up to the sky and twist. Maybe you hug the knee. Maybe you have the hand inside, the elbow inside, gaze over the back shoulder. You want to take the bind, you can take the right hand all the way over to the left and then come back through that little triangle. Take the bind behind your back. And then release. Take both hands up to the sky, frame into the counter twist, framing the right hip, and just press to lift up. And then both legs long, shake them out. Other side. Take the left leg long, right leg to the inside. Arms up to the sky. Turn your torso over the straight leg, which can be bent, and then begin to fold. So maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you want that lengthener. You're going to take the right hand to the knife edge of the extended leg. Take the left hand, reach it towards the back, and pull yourself up, using the leverage of holding onto that foot to lift the heart up and forward. And then swing that hand, back hand forward into the arch of the other foot. You've got a nice cross grip, and you can maybe get some more length. Begin to come on up and take that leg to the front, the left leg to the front, step the right foot over to the outside of the left knee. Right hand behind your back, left arm up to the sky, come into your seated twist. So lots of options again. Your left hand can come to your chest. If you want to take the bind, you're going to reach it all the way to the right and then shoot it back through the triangle. Right hand comes behind the waistband and they marry. Whew. Some sides are harder than the other. Right in that triangle, and your gaze is over your back shoulder. All right, release back to the front. Oh, we are so out of time. Let's just take a butterfly just for a moment. Take the soles of the feet together. Release your forehead down towards your feet. Let the knees drop open. Then keeping the feet as they are, begin to come all the way onto your back, Supta Baddha Konasana. And I'm going to take us over for just a minute or two. Hug the knees to the chest. Rock side to side. You come into your spinal twist, dropping both knees over to the right, arms out to a T or a cactus. And bring your gaze wherever is comfortable. Maybe it's straight up to the sky, maybe it's over to your left, looking at your left fingertips. I don't know if you're in a room with a window, but yay, the sun has come out for us. All right, and then knees back up to the chest and swing them over to the other side. Both knees over to the left. Gaze up or over to the right. Both knees up to the chest. Come into any last positions that you might want before coming into your Shavasana. For me, that is always happy baby. You're in happy baby, the soles of the feet are facing the sky, reaching for maybe the knife edge or the ankle and just pulling the knees towards the armpit, maybe rocking side to side. And as you're ready, begin to come into your final resting pose. Reaching the arms down by your side, the legs the width of the mat, let the feet fall open. Roll your shoulders down and back. And just let everything go. So I'm going to give us just a 5-minute Shavasana. I want you to feel free to take one as long as you would like, but I am setting the timer now. As you come into your final rest, maybe coming back to that idea that it's okay to not be okay. I'm really tired of that word, unprecedented. Everybody's talking about how unprecedented these times are. But I guess we hear that word over and over again because it is where we're at. No one knows what the future holds. No one knows how it will unwind. And when we have that kind of uncertainty, we inevitably go to all the what ifs. And all of those lead to different kinds of emotions. But the thing that we understand is that that is not within our control. Not my dog. There's not much relating to this pandemic that's within our control. And so we have to let it go. And that comes back to being okay with not being okay, or being okay with uncertainty. And our yoga practice prepares us for that. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to bring small movements into your fingers and toes. Circling the ankles, circling the wrists. Maybe reaching the arms up overhead, coming into a full body stretch. Then hug the knees to the chest. Take some gentle rocks side to side. When you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side. The beauty of practicing at home, we have all the room in the world. Pressing into the top hand, bring yourself to a seated position, bringing hands to heart center, palms together. Let's close our practice with one nice, long, cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, pausing at the top of the breath. Open mouth, side out. Bring your hands, knuckles to third eye. And namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Have a very blessed day. And I hope to see you on the mat again. Thank you for staying with me. A couple minutes over. All right, till next time.